Hey everybody, it's Graham McInnes here, McInnes Realty Group, and here's our market update for November. Man, what a banger. The market is going crazy for this time of year. It's really quite surprising. I'll just give you a couple quick anecdotes, and you can read the statistics for yourself. But from the Calgary Real Estate Board, persistent sellers market conditions drive up prices. The detached market is just doing great. The prices are rising steadily. Sales are increasing. We're seeing a lot of record numbers tossed around, and as it's kind of discussed here in the report from the Calgary Real Estate Board for how November went, it's basically due to whatever is driving this crazy demand, a strong GDP, COVID influences. There's all kinds of different factors. And also the interest rates are rising, projected to rise quite a bit more. And so we're getting people that are jumping into the market now because they want to lock in those lower interest rates and get into the housing market now. So taking a look at this, I mean, you can read it for yourself, but there is a lot of arrows pointing up here, and the market is really, really hot. Now, if we hopped over to this story here from the Financial Post, home prices seen climbing, expected to rise 9% next year. That's for 2022. Maybe the people in Winnipeg, the homeowners and buyers there, might not have quite as much luck, but this is kind of a story coast to coast. Most of the markets are doing really, really well. Again, as I've commented before, Vancouver and Toronto they're just going completely bonkers. I've got a lot of friends that are realtors out in those cities, and the stories they're telling me about what these homes are selling for is just absolutely incredible. Now, let's bring this back to Calgary. And let's talk about that, where our focus is here. There's something very important to note. So if you are in the market, or if you're thinking of getting in the market as a home seller, something that you need to know. So the most active price range for sales for detached homes, which is where the market is hottest, is for detached homes. What is happening is between 400 to about 550 or 600, something like that. If you've got a home in that price range and you're thinking of selling it, man, there is a huge demand for homes like that, and in very, very little inventory, especially for quality homes in great neighborhoods on great streets, with homes that have great features or have been recently renovated or whatever. Like, if you've got a home like that and you want to sell it, give me a call. We will sell it like that and probably get an excellent price, maybe a record price for a home like that in your neighborhood, or potentially getting multiple offers selling over the list price. Why do I say that? Because a lot of homes are selling for over the list price. And I'm not talking about homes that are underpriced on purpose. Homes that are just priced, for what the homeowner and the realtor agree on as the list price, more or less what they're worth. And we're still, because there's such little inventory, we're still seeing, 6 offers, 10 offers, 20 offers come in on some of these properties, and they're selling for over the list price. So I'll give you an example. I was out with a buyer the other night, and they were interested in seeing a home in Cedar Brae. And this property was very, very nice in terms of the street, beautiful, nice, quiet street. All the other homes looked like they had great curb appeal, well maintained. But it was just a little over 400 for a detached home in Cedar Brae. And the home had not been renovated, and it was built in the late 1960s. I mean, it had a couple windows replaced and this kind of thing, but no major renovations. The kitchen was original, and so on. Now, this home was a little bit unique, so if you've got something a little bit unique about your house that makes it more desirable, man, it'll sell again just like that. So anyway, one day on the market, we went to see it. The first day it was on the market, and it had 6 offers on it by the next day, which is when the offers were to be presented. And my clients, we did bid over the list price, and it ended up selling for, I think, around, just a ballpark, I'm going to ballpark it here, about 50 or 46,000 over the list price. or 56,000 over the list price, something like that. And just one day on market, 6 different offers for a 1960s bungalow that had not really been renovated in any substantial way. Now, it was a desirable home, like I said, great street, and it had a large square footage for a bungalow in that neighborhood. That's probably the key factor why it was so desirable. But the person who made the offer had no conditions on their offer. You know, my clients, you know, we wanted to have at least a financing condition on the offer just to make sure they could get the financing. Knowing that we were bidding over the list price, we wanted to make sure that everything, you know, was covered there. And yeah, whoever got it, they bid, you know, tens of thousands of dollars over the list price, no conditions. I mean, I'm hearing these stories from realtors that we work with all the time, and it's happening a lot. Now, the last point that I want to make is this is also very, very interesting for buyers. So buyers, if you are in the market, there's something very important that you need to know about the homes that you're seeing on, you know, realtor.ca or any of the websites that you use to search listings. And that is that a huge number of the homes that you're seeing online are already sold. So how does this happen? Basically, what happens is when a house goes on the market, especially like I said, if it's a good house on a nice street, it's got the right price on it. In other words, the seller is just asking what it's worth, you know, nothing crazy. It's going to sell literally in a matter of days if it meets those criteria, right? Other homes are staying on the market longer if they're overpriced or if they're whatever, just not in a good desirable area. Maybe they have a weird floor plan or something about them is just not quite appealing. Now, if you're looking at these homes on these listings on the market, what is happening is the homeowners are putting their homes on the market. They're getting an offer the same day, the next day, within a week or whatever. They're selling very, very fast. And during the condition period, so that's that 10 days or so period of time where the buyer has the home, where the home is conditionally sold. So it's the conditionally sold means it's subject to, the offer is subject to the buyers completing their due diligence. In other words, typically it's just a home inspection and getting their financing lined up for that specific house. And basically what's happening is the seller is instructing their realtor not to disclose that the home is conditionally sold, or they're saying, okay, you can mark it on the realtor side of the MLS, where the website that we use to load the listings into. When we get a listing, you can mark it. There's a little section there for realtor to realtor, you know, sort of private remarks that the public doesn't see. And it'll say, you know, this home is conditionally sold until December 7th or whatever the condition date is. So on the public facing websites, the house looks like it's for sale. There's nothing to indicate that they've got an offer, accepted the offer, and now they're just in that roughly that 10-day window of time where the buyer is doing their due diligence, getting their financing and their home inspection lined up. So the point is, if you are a buyer and you're looking at listings on these websites, a lot of the listings that you're looking at, especially the desirable homes that if you like it, if you think it's a desirable home, guess what? 100 other people do as well. There's a good chance that that listing is already sold. So you need to have your ducks in a row in order to be a competitive buyer in this market. So let's finish up on that and I'll wrap this up for you guys. So when you're buying in this market, pre-approval, not walking into the bank and saying, yeah, I want to get pre-approved, and the person at the counter or at the mortgage desk or whatever goes, oh, okay, how much money do you make? You go, I make this much money. They say, oh, okay, well then you should be approved for this much. That's not a pre-approval. That is worth zero in reality. What you need to do is you need to get fully approved. You've got to provide your mortgage broker or your bank all your, you know, whatever the number of years of tax returns that they say they need, your pay stubs, your letter of employment, and on and on and on. As you know, if you've ever been pre-approved for, it's quite an arduous process to get actually fully pre-approved. But if you do, I recommend you do. And if you do, go through that pain of getting that done. It's as painful as filing your taxes sometimes. But if you do, you will be in a much better position to make a stronger offer than all the other buyers that you might be competing against out there in the marketplace. And I would recommend that you get pre-approved before you start taking this seriously and going out and looking at homes. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. The other thing for the buyers is to make sure that you've got your down payment ready. You should have a deposit amount ready. So when you make an offer, you need to either provide with your offer a deposit check of a certain percentage of the list price, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% of the list price, depending on the type of home you're buying and sort of how the deal goes. Talk to your realtor about that. Um, so you need to have a deposit, and you really need to be able to go out and see a house the first day that it comes on the market. Again, if you get an email and you've got in that email from your realtor's website or realtor.ca or whatever, and there's a listing in there that's a brand new listing and you like it, you got to understand 100, 200, 300, who knows, other people got that email as well. And how many of those are actually going to go and view it and write an offer? A lot. Like a lot of people are looking for homes in Alberta and in Calgary especially, and you're competing. You're in a competition against these other buyers. It literally is a competition to get into the market and start building that equity by paying down your mortgage and also enjoying the increase in the value of your home by just riding the tide, riding the wave of an increasing market. So kind of exciting times. The market is super hot. If you have any questions further about the real estate market, then just reach out to me here and I'd be glad to help you out. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care.